So these restrictions then that have been extended, is that the right way to go, given that there have been no new infections once again today, none over the weekend?
Yeah, no, it's great news, although the risk is that you don't know how many intermediaries there have been in this story. Clearly, the man who's the case who spread it to his wife has caught it from somebody, but that person might have caught it from somebody else, and then they might be spreading it. So what's happened upstream in the days beforehand is really important. And if it happens to be a chain in young people who are not showing symptoms, it might not be showing up in the testing regime, and then it pops up a little bit later. So you just got to try and suppress, just keep distance as much as you can. I'm not quite sure why they lifted restrictions on masks in retail areas and so on. I think the more we wear masks, the better, not just staff, because it just reduces that risk that little bit further. But hopefully we won't find any more cases and this one passes by. But it turns out that this variant that the man came in with from the United States has just been declared a variant of concern by the British. It's called 617.2. And why and so 617 means it's the Indian variant, but it becomes less and less relevant as an Indian variant as it spreads around the world. And then this 0.2 is another variation of this. Now, what they found in Britain is that this is at least as contagious as the Kent variant or the British variant, the 117. And that's the one everybody was getting very worried about. And it may actually be a little bit more contagious. It seems to be, there's a little bit of evidence that it's muscling out 117.
And this is the first case of this particular variant?
No, I think there have been about 30. Right. Or more. I was looking at the data the other day. It's not entirely clear, but I think there have been quite a few. But this is the first one to have got out of hotel quarantine, as far as I'm aware. It may not. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. And so that is a worry that there is a potentially more contagious virus, which would fit with this story, because New South Wales Health must have looked at all the people who are the most likely people to have caught it from this man coming in from hotel quarantine. Security officers, nurses, drivers, that sort of thing. Yeah. None of them would have turned up, clearly none of them have turned up positive. So it's been a much more transient passing infection from the original man to somebody else. And then who knows who passed it where to there. So it's showing the signs of a highly contagious virus. We might just be lucky on this occasion, but we won't be lucky forever.
International borders then. Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt says he doesn't see borders reopening until at least 2022. Do you agree with that? Well,
it's actually my understanding is the Treasurer that said that, but the Health Minister's actually said there might be a more nuanced opening, which I think is probably right. So if you're fully immunised, then the evidence is showing is you're less likely to acquire infection of any kind and then get severely ill. And therefore you might be more likely to be allowed to go overseas and come back to a limited form of quarantine. Now, I think there have been 6 people who've been vaccinated who've developed infection. So it's not a guarantee. It's between Astra and Pfizer, maybe 60 to 75% effective reducing infection, but that's not fully protected. But it is it is more than you would otherwise expect. And then to bubbles, and then next year opening up. I mean, if we'd got our immunisation schedule right, we'd have probably been opening up in October. This is totally entrained in our vaccination schedule.
Let's look at updated advice now from WHO and US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This has been an issue. This is regarding the threat of small airborne virus particles, of course, an issue for hotel quarantine. I mean, how big a deal is this?
Well, it's a big deal for Australia, since the infection control expert group here, which has really been down on airborne spread, they don't think it's that important. Yeah. The life raft they've been clinging to is that the Centers for Disease Control and the World Health Organization has also been down on it. And now they've revised that and they've recognised its importance. Why these international authorities have taken so long about this, don't know. People scratch their head. Why is this occurring in hotel quarantine? You don't need to wonder why. This passes through the air very, very easily in indoor environments. And we haven't taken sufficient precautions, and our national guidelines, particularly for healthcare workers, don't take it into account.
You had your AstraZeneca jab last week, the first one, didn't you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great today. On Thursday, the day afterwards, just
oh, is that right?
A little bit seedy, on a scale of on the man flu scale of 0 to 10, it was around about 5.
Okay, but you bounced back.
Yeah, if you're a woman, that would be 2.
Very right answer. Thanks, Norman. And more on the Health Report on our own at 5:30 tonight.
Yes.